And this is our third take. Lots of issues, but we're making this happen. Hi, everyone.
Right.
Green here. Mike Bayous, founder and CEO of Green Knight. I'm here with Rob Head, the chairperson of Hemp for Victory, an organization I'm proud to be part of. And right now we're discussing one of the major issues that happened the past 2 weeks, the Miller Amendment in terms of hemp. I've been talking about this. A lot of states, Iowa, Massachusetts, now even New Jersey, they're focusing on limiting or eliminating the hemp market. With this Miller Amendment, the Miller Amendment in a nutshell is trying to limit synthesized hemp, what people use for recreational or medicinal purposes, is trying to completely eliminate that on a national wide scale instead of what's happening currently, where each state is having its own rules and regulations regarding hemp. Rob, just a quick introduction of yourself and what is Hemp for Victory?
Yeah, my name is Robert Head. I am chair of the Hemp for Victory Foundation. We are a 501c3 full of military leaderships like Mike here, who believe that cannabis should be something that veterans should be able to access freely and with very little restriction. We know that we've seen great strides in cannabis and the health of our veteran community. And so we like to educate people as much as possible about how that works and why it's so beneficial. We don't make a product. We don't have any tangible thing that we give other than knowledge of the industry and what's currently happening.
The reason why I'm having this call with you is because right now, a lot of times I've been talking from a very New Jersey Northeast perspective where the plant is both medicinally and recreationally available. And I really wanted to bring you in onto this conversation because, Rob, you're from Texas, and recreationally is completely legal. Medicinally, there's like 2 or 3 dispensaries in the entire state of Texas. As you can imagine, how impossible it is to get the plant for medicinal uses because there's the lack of legal dispensaries there. So what people doing in Texas a lot of times is to get hemp and the benefits of the plant. They're going to the hemp market, which is in Texas is $1 billion industry. And I want to have a full perspective because that's what I want to talk to you because in New Jersey, where I'm at in Northeast New York City, a lot of times where people see hemp products, they see them at gas stations, at shady convenience stores, at bodegas. And it's one of those things, you have it unregulated, you know what you're ingesting. A lot of times the packaging is for kids. You have a drink. Not, by the way, I just want to caveat this. Not everything's, they are certain brands that are regulated and they're good. So just not a blanket statement. But a lot of times people that come up to me as a dispensary owner, they're saying, hey, I had this product. I tried it and I had a headache, or I don't feel good afterwards. And my problem from the Northeast perspective and the legal state perspective is this erodes the trust of the entire industry. Because a lot of times, people, they see the 3 letter there, the THC, CBD, they have some, and they're like, oh, I had like this experience. I'm not even going to the legal store now, and that affects everyone. However, in Texas, I want to see your perspective because, like I said, clients don't have that opportunity.
Yeah, I think people need to understand about this Miller Act is that what New Jersey wants and what Texas wants is really the same thing. Okay, it's not different. And let me explain to you why. A well-regulated market federally is what we should see in this amendment, not a ban. A well-regulated market would means we can eliminate some of these products out of the gas. So we can eliminate some of that. But what we can keep is the access medication that people already want. And across Texas, we have 1.8, 1.9 million vets. And we know that there are vending machines in these American Legions of VFWs. I got pictures of them that sell hemp-derived products. Now, these hemp-derived products have a very big following in Texas. People buy them and they use them all the time. Now, why? If it's a problem that is affecting the big plant industry, the medicinal industry in Canada and Colorado and California and everything else, banning it only helps the numbers there, but it hurts all the patients down here who'd have no access to the legal types of cannabis. So the actual amendment needs to be changed. There's a small chance that this will go through. Right now, to get past the 2024, very unlikely it's going to happen, right? So you can breathe a sigh of relief, but that should not be your worry. If this amendment does not go challenged and just dies off naturally because of the lame duck partisan and the election going on, then it'll come back. So it is extremely important right now because what we have seen is like, listen, guys, this is going to again. And if you don't go in front of your representatives and explain your business plan on why this is good, how this is good for the American, why it's good for people, why banning it is bad, what kind of regulations you want. If the industry doesn't start saying what kind of regulations they want, then they're going to get a ban. And that's not good. So the fact that this bill may not even get and has a slim chance of making it, that is not an issue. That should not be anybody's concern. In fact, you need to wipe that from your mind. It's the fact that it's being talked about at a state level, not only in Texas, because in Texas they're also having meetings and they're having committee meetings about whether to ban Delta 8, Delta 9, or these other types of hemp derived. What they are wind up doing is that these will continue to go, and if you do not challenge them, if you do not send out your argument, then you don't get mad when it completely annihilates that entire industry, because it's going to, if you unless you speak. What we're seeing right now is the wind from a massive storm that's coming. You have, and we're getting told ahead of time it's coming. And the way to fight back on it is you have to make sure you contact those representatives, get meetings with them, and explain with good evidence why this is bad.
One of the biggest things you mentioned in one of our previous takes is once the toothpaste is out the bottle, you cannot let it back. You cannot let it back in, right? It's gone. It's in the wind. Second, you try to regulate it or completely clamp it down, and people, especially let's say in Texas, a lot of the veterans are using hemp for medicinal uses, and they
Yep.
can't access it anymore. They'll go to the black market, and in the black market, what's going to happen is the fact that it's going to be as dangerous, or if not more dangerous, probably more, because now you don't know what's happening at all. At least when you're on the shelf, you can see, okay, this is the product, this is the company that made it. You can there's a person you can call, and you can address if you have a bad reaction. You can call this company, say you have a bad reaction, and they can do an internal recall or whatever the situation is. But now if it's in the black market and you still need that medicine, what are you gonna do? And it's gonna be a lot, and that's what's gonna happen. Like the toothpaste out the bottle.
And we
So
don't know what those consequences are going to be, nor do we know how to deal with those consequences. But what we do know, if we regulate it, we have a better understanding of what the regulation and consequences are going to happen, and we're more apt to deal with it. Because when you do a ban that takes it out of people like FDA's jurisdiction and puts it into DOJ, that means your local law enforcement is now more responsible for this, for
forcing,
implementing these laws
yeah.
and regulations that actually should be, not the FDA, or not one of the three letters that should be overseeing this, health, the human services, or something of that nature. When we shifted to law enforcement, the rules have changed. Now the consequences for someone interacting into an industry that had very little to do with any types of severe death or any death or anything of that nature that we would consider heinous or horrendous, that we allow the big pharma to do without any consequences. Now you're putting those people, and you're really repeating history again in these micro markets, and we don't want to do that.
To finish off this conversation, so three major things from this conversation: regulate, not ban. Once toothpaste is out the bottle, you cannot get it back in. Number two, regulation creates environment of safety and trust. That's within this both in the license, recreational, medicinal, and in the hemp industry. The second you erode that trust, people won't go and get your product at all, and it affects the entire industry. And number three, it's be proactive, reach out to your local congressman, congresswoman, and make your voice heard. Because even though the Miller Amendment may not pass now, just because it's being discussed, an iteration of it in the future, which may be even worse or way different that we don't like, may affect everyone. So it's about keeping informed and always focusing on patient and customer safety.
True.